Hi, everybody. All right, the first thing we did today, today's the 15th, Tuesday, is we went to our activities and we went down to week 17 math and we looked at the second part of this. And so let me open up where we left off here. So this is where, let me put me up here. All right, so this is where we started. So we looked at some different types of questions with, this is along with our input-output section that we've been talking about. And so the whole idea is with input-output, and let me go back up here to my little machine here, is that we're putting a number in, some kind of rule is happening, and then out pops another number. So this is a way to look at some of the patterns that we see. And there was some new vocab that we talked about today. And so let's go over this. So here, let me grab my pencil. So here you have, it says, what is the relationship between the position of each number in the pattern and the value of that number? So you have 9, 18, 27, 36. So these right here, these are the values. Okay, so let me put, these are the values. Now, if you notice, the values are written on this right-hand side. So you have 9, 18, 27, and 36. Now, these numbers are in a certain position. And the way I think about it is I think about these people and I picture them going out. They're going to be heading this direction and they're going to go through this door right here. Well, if they're all lined up to go through this door, this person right here is in the first position. This one is in the second position, the third position, the fourth position, and the fifth position. So just like those people are lined up, ready to go out, these numbers are lined up as well. The 9 is in the first position. The 2, we're going to put a 2 there because the 18 is in the second position. Excuse me. The 27 is in the third position, and the 36 is in the fourth position. And if you notice right here, these are the positions 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, what we're going to do in the middle here is that rule. Just like with the input-output, we look for that rule. So we're going to take our position, and this time right here, we're multiplying it by 9, and that gives us our value of 9. Then we're going to look at the second position. We're going to multiply that by 9. That gives us 18. Look at our third position. Multiply that by 9. That gives us 27. Fourth position, multiply it by 9, and that gives us 36. So input is that position number, and then that output is that value. So here's what a question would look like. It says the same thing. A number pattern begins with these values. So again, 6, 12, 18, 24, those are your values. So the very first thing I do before I go look at the position is I go check. All right, look at F, 6, 12, 18, 24. Yep, that looks good. Look at this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, those are not the values, 6, 12, 18, 24. So I can go ahead and take that out. Look here, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't even know where they got those. Take that out. That does not match the values that the problem gave me. Look at J, 6, 12, 18, 24. That matches these values, so I'm going to keep J. Now, I'm going to think, okay, those numbers are lined up just like these people are lined up to go out the door. I know this one's in first position and so on. So I'm going to look at these numbers and I'm going to say, okay, the 6 is in that first position. So I'm going to look here and I look and I see that position 6 should have a value of 6. Well, that doesn't make sense because it's position, look at J, position 1. 6 is in the first position. Okay, so here's the first position. It has a value of a 6. Look at this J, 2. The second position has a value of 12. The third position has a value of 18. The fourth position has a value of 24. So this is the table that matches this right here because of this part. The values were good, but the position was no. It needs to be first position, comes first, second, third, and fourth. So J would be our answer here. That's the one that matches. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, so over here on this side, let me zoom in a bit here. This one, we've got the same idea. It's just written a little bit differently with them stacked on top of each other here, but we still have the same idea going. So we've got these values. So again, I'm going to look here. I've got 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to take that out because it doesn't match my values right here. 8, 16, 24, 32. That one is good. 8, 16, 24, 32. This one is good for the values. Oh my goodness, what did I just? Went going crazy around here. All right, let me go back. All right, so values is good, value is good, value is good. Now I'm going to go look at the positions. 8 is in the first position. So everywhere that I have an 8 for a value, that should show that it's in the first position. This one does not. So I'm going to take that out. Go look at H. First position has a value of 8. That's matching. Look at J. 8th position. No. Okay, so see how we want this 1, 2, 3, 4 for the position? That means our answer there is correct. 1 times 8 is 8, 2 times 8 is 16, 3 times 8 is 24, 4 times 8 is 32. They're taking the position and they're multiplying it by the same number, 8, 8, 8, 8, and that's what gives us those values. Okay? Over here, this is like yesterday. But with this one, we've got a diamond here and a circle. And we learned when we did this back with addition and subtraction, we talked about how you can have different labels. It doesn't always say input. Oops, let me not write with my highlighter. It doesn't always say input and output. Sometimes it could be a star, sometimes it could be a square, sometimes it could be a circle or a diamond, or, it could be all different things. But whatever you're starting with right here is your input, and whatever you end up with is your output. And then something is happening in between where you need to go figure out what that rule is that they're applying. Here, they're telling you that we're doing this number sentence right here. So something times 10 gives you something else, okay? So if we take the diamond, so look at here, all of these 44, 66, 99, 150, those are all in the diamond column. So I'm going to plug in one of them and see if it gives me that output. So 44 times 10 gives me 54. That's not true. 44 plus 10 gives me 54, but not 54 times. So that's I got to take that out. So let me try another one. 44. Look at C. 44 times 10 gives me 4,400. Well, here, if I know if I take 44 and I multiply it by 10, then there's only one zero. 44 times 1 is 44, and the 1 0 at the end is 440. So here, I'm looking for something. That one doesn't match, so I'm going to go ahead and take that out. I'm looking for something that has 440. This one has the 0 in the wrong place. That's not right. And then this here, look here, you've got, let's get our highlighter out. 44, 44 with 1 0. 66, 66 with 1 0. 99, 99 with 1 0. 150, 150 with 1 0. So each of these, when they went from the left to the right, they multiplied times 10, times 10, times 10. Every single one of these matches that, so I'm confident that B is my answer. All right, so everybody did page 8 and page 9 as independent work. And with these, you're finding the rule. So when you go from your input to the output, what's the rule? Are you adding? Are you subtracting? Are you multiplying? Are you dividing? And then on page 9, you're finding the rule, but then you have to go and apply it to be able to find out what the missing piece is, okay? So we did that today. Students should have that finished up and turned in. And then after that, we extended math today because we have a big test tomorrow. So we did some reviewing with math. So let me actually open this real quick. All right, so some things that we've been practicing. So if you want to pause the video, and I sent these photos, but if you want to pause the video and take a look at this a little bit longer and write this down, make sure you got this, then go ahead. But here we're doing 321 times 6. We wrote it out in expanded form, multiplied it by 6. We found our partial products, added them up to get our answer. This one here was a 2-digit by 2-digit, same idea, but this time we have two things to break down, because in this top one, we had this larger number and then times a 1-digit. So the 1-digit didn't need to be broken down. It's already in its expanded form. But here on the bottom, both of these we went ahead and broke down. So 50 and 5, 40 and 3, both of those came from the expanded form of these. Then we found our partial products. Okay, we looked up and over, up and over, up and over, up and over. Okay, there's no diagonal. You literally go straight up, go back to your box, and go straight over. And that's where we got all these things to multiply. That's that distributive property. And then we added up those partial products to give us our final product. Here, this page is the same, but with a 4-digit by 1-digit. So here with that, we did the distributive property first. So you're taking this number and you're multiplying it by your other number that you're multiplying it by, your other factor. So 4,000 times 5, 300 times 5, 20 times 5, 1 times 5. Okay, so we just broke it all the way down. And that's exactly what you're doing with the box. The box, the only difference here is that, let me see if this helps. Oh, yep, that's a lot better. All right, the difference is that with the box, everything's nicely kept together. So you can just put your answer in there, get your partial products, and then add those partial products up to give you that final product. So that there, you can pause and look at that if you need closer. And then this one here, same thing, but this is with the 2-digit by 2-digit, to where we showed how we broke it down, what it looks like in the box, how we added the partial products, how we did that distributive property. This right here, what we did here connects with here, and so on. So there's that if you need to pause and look at that. All right, and then so students should have that one of these pages. This page right here we did in tutorials, so students are going to have that. But the other two, if they were following along, they should have those pages. And so let me go back over here. Right, so we did some practice problems. So these problems right here are ones where I saw them on the test and I thought, you know what, we need to go over those. So I changed the story, but it's the same style of question. So I just changed the story and the numbers up. And so we took each of these today and we went over each of them and made sure that we understood these were these up here, they're two-step problems. And so we really talked about the importance of taking your time to understand what the question's about and not just rushing right to go, oh, I see numbers, let me multiply them because we're doing a multiplication test, but really taking the time to visualize and think what the problem's are about, taking it step by step. So I'm going to model one of these. So, or let me actually do this one here. So, or I think I already put it on here. Yeah, I want to do this other one. So let me add it. Come on, text. There we go. All right. And it still did the other question. Come on. All right, let's try this again. There we go. All right, we'll get it eventually. move this over. How about right there? Okay, so we have Mike, and Mike goes jogging 43 minutes each day. And we want to know how many minutes will Mike spend jogging over a 6-week period. Well, if Mike goes jogging 43 minutes each day, then I'm talking about here minutes, days, and weeks. Okay, so he's doing 43 minutes every day, and he's going to do, it says each day. So in a week, I need to know that there are 7 days in a week, number one. So I'm thinking about that. So I'm thinking if he's going each day, then that means he's going 7 days. So I'm going to draw, because I like to draw things out. I don't draw the whole problem out because these numbers are too big, but I like to draw just enough to give me an idea of what I'm doing. So if I'm talking about, I'm going to worry about 1 week first before I get to 6 weeks. So here's my 7 days. Each one of these boxes represents a day. Here's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So 7 days. So now I know that on each of those days right here, this first part, Mike goes jogging for 43 minutes. So 43, each of those. Okay, you can see why this is taking me long enough. I do not have time to go do this for 6 weeks. That would be a long time. So just 1 week gives me a good enough idea. Now I know that I can stop here and I can say, okay, I can figure out how many minutes he's doing in 1 week. And I would do that by taking all these 43s and adding them up, or I'm going to multiply them, so which would be quicker. So 43 times the 7 days. I'm going to try to find that. And that's going to be step number 1. Okay, this is going to be multi-step because we don't want to find 1 week. We want to find 6 weeks. But if I find the 1 week, then that's going to help me. So I'm going to do that first. So this right here, I'm make my little box. I'm doing 2 digits here, so I'm going to break down this 2 digits, 40 plus 3 times 7. So I'm going to multiply this. So 7 times 4 is 28. I see a 0, so I'm going to add 1 0. And 7 times 3 is 21. And that equals 280 plus 21, which gives us 301. So that's how many he does in 1 week. Now, since that's the minutes for 1 week, now I want to know, okay, well, what if we do 6 weeks? So that's 301 times 6. Okay, so I'm going to draw my box. I've got 300 plus 1 times 6. 300 times 6, 3 times 6 is 18. Add my zeros. 6 times 1 is 6. When I add those together, that's 1,806. Okay, 1,806. Alrighty. So here, lots of steps, but when you break it down and you really understand what's going on with the problem, then it makes it a lot easier to solve. It's just you have to keep track. A lot of students stopped right here and they circled that and they were happy with that. If I think about that, okay, 43 minutes every day for 6 weeks, that's not enough minutes. That's not a reasonable, 301 is way too small if I think about what that means. So you can't stop at the first step. That's not your answer. You have to think about what the story's actually asking, okay? So we worked on, again, we worked on these problems because there are ones that I thought that we needed to look at. Let's look at this one also. So let me actually snip this. Let me see here. This will work. So I can keep it in its same format. Yay. All right, that was actually easier. All right, so here we've got Sylvia's teacher, and she asked her to find the product of 13 and 53. Well, product is the answer to a multiplication problem. And it says, which shows a way that Sylvia could find the product. So here we have all these things broken down. And our answer is D. And we're going to talk about why it's D. So here, when we have been trying to solve, like if we did 13 times 53, I'm going to show you what we've been practicing. So we've been practicing taking that number and putting it into much easier, more manageable numbers, because we like things that end in 0. And so when we do this, it's really easy to multiply these because we can get these numbers really fast. Okay, those are really easy numbers to multiply. Here, what they did, the reason why D is your answer, I'll show you what they did. So they took 13 and they left it. And the thing that they broke down, if you look here, 13, I can look here and I can see A has 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13. They did not break down that 13. They left it. So I'm going to leave mine as well. What they did break down is the 53. Notice 53, 50, and then the 3. C is all over. I'm going to take C out. I don't know. They really messed that up. Okay, that was obvious. That needs to go out. So here, what they did is they said 50. We're going to break that 53. We're going to break that down into 50 plus 3. Okay, so now when I do this distributed property, I'm saying 50 times 13 and 3 and 13. We're going to multiply that together. Or actually, let me write it. They did 13 first. It's the exact same. What I wrote, oops, eraser please. What I wrote is the exact same thing, but I'm just going to put it the way that they did it so we can easily see, but they can be switched. So they put 13 first. So 13 times 50 and 13 times 3, which is exactly what we do with this box method to get our answer. We would multiply that out. We would get it. Okay. But the reason why in class that we would break down the 13 is because multiplying 10 by 50 is a lot easier than multiplying 50 times 13. So all they did was keep it together to just show one way that that can be done. But if I was doing this, it would be much easier to go ahead and break down that 13, put it in expanded form, and get those simpler numbers to multiply. But that doesn't mean that it's not correct. So it is a way to do it. It's just not the easiest way. Now the other ones, if you look here, notice B also has 13 times 50 and 13 times 3. But here, they're not adding these. So here, we would take these answers and we would say, okay, whatever, let's say this is A and this is B, we would take A and we would add it to B because those are our partial products. Here in B, they're saying to multiply them, which is not what we do, okay? We need to add the partial products. So the in the middle should be that plus sign. Then here, this one has the same numbers as well, but they're subtracting. We never subtract our partial products. We have to add these two pieces together to get that final answer here. Let's call it C. Okay. Now notice here they didn't want the final product. They just want a way to get there. So there you go. That's how I kind of connected it to what we had been talking about. But so go ahead and pause this and look at those questions again if you need more practice. And just really, again, these multi-step ones especially, make sure that you are taking time and that you are really stopping to think about, okay, these are all about like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, so on. Take time. What does 1 week? What does 1 week look like? All right, now that I know 1 week, how can I make that look like 6 weeks or 8 weeks or so on? Okay, so we spent a lot of time in math today, which is okay because this schedule this week is kind of very, very flexible. So after we had just completely exhausted all of our brain power with the math, we gave it our all and we had some fun doing it. we took a little break and did some holiday crafts. So we made in our box, let me grab mine. We made our little reindeer ornament. Oop, crush mine. Right, there we go. We made our little reindeer ornaments that turned out so cute. So I put some snowflakes on mine and decorated our little things there. So you can, if you didn't do that with us, you can look at the directions and follow along so you can have your little reindeer guy too. And then we played some Kahoot games, and we made a Christmas tree today, a little card with our green paper, and you either got a red piece or a white. So we did a couple holiday crafts today, and then we worked on our coding for our water cycle, and we partnered up and we did a lot of practice with that, and I need links for that. So here I'm collecting the links because I want to share them so everybody can see each other's projects. So I have some names here that I'm missing links for. So I'm still, some of those have sent them to me in Seesaw and stuff. So I'm still checking them and moving them over, making sure the links work and all that. But go ahead and make sure if you haven't sent me your link yet, go ahead and do that. And the thing that we're using, some of the ones for the kiddos that didn't verify their emails, I showed them how to use, the Chromebooks already had the extension for Screencastify, and it's all tied with our Google School emails. So we got this, and I showed them how, like I'm making this video right now with Screencastify. And so they can record their screen. The free version is for the less than 5 minutes. So as long as they keep it under 5 minutes, oh goodness, they can go and they can record what's on their screen and show how their scratch work. And then what else did we do? So let me go here. The holidays around the world. We finished up the geography section. And then, so whatever country the students picked, they were to finish up the geography part. And then here, if you click on this, this is just some ideas. So a lot of them have their own project that they're working on that they're adding to. So they could either use this, it has some websites that you can go to get information, and they could use this and they could type here if they wanted to, or they could go and add it to their own. So it was talking about what continent it's on, what the decorations are, some of the traditions, special holidays, who is the one that is giving the gifts, and how did they say their holiday greeting. All the things that the flag, things like that, some ideas to do for their research for their country. So these websites they can go to and get lots of great information. And then we also have our library resources, things like PebbleGo and things like that are great resources as well. So they had some time to do that. And I think that is it. So let me know if you have any questions. We had tutorials today and we did the math. So they should be all set to go with that. And that about wrapped it up. So let me know tomorrow is our PJ day, and it is our movie day and our hot chocolate day. So get that hot chocolate ready, and make sure that you have talked to your family about what kind of movie you're going to do, and we'll have the afternoon tomorrow to do that. So all right guys, thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.